glasses. Oh. I've just had a hat on since I picked the kids up from school. Welcome to another episode of Pirate Think. Very pumped to be here. The old Vans hat. I don't know, I feel like hats and glasses make it a little bit less real. Or like...
Thunderstorm warning for parts of northern rivers and northern tablelands forecast districts. Cancelled.
Oh, cancelled. Thunderstorms. We've been having in northeastern, yeah, I suppose, northeastern New South Wales or northern New South Wales. Been having quite a number of heavy rains and storms and stuff like that. We have been blessed to not have any near us, but yeah, still wouldn't mind some rain. A little bit dry. Tanks are getting a little bit low on the property, but other than that, here we are. Another episode of Pirate Think. And I just wanted to get this one out because it's Monday night, and Monday night's not usually a conversation starter or a podcast night for me by any stretch. In fact, running a business with staff, and my wife's been away, so I've had children all weekend. So I'm feeling a little bit frazzled mentally and internally, which is fairly standard for me anyway, but with this extra stuff can definitely feel a little bit frazzled. But I wanted to get out because we're a couple of days into November now. What are we? 3rd, I believe. Yeah, 3rd of November. And me and a good mate of mine, Sean Houlihan, have started basically a 30-day transformation challenge where we're just going hard at a whole bunch of different aspects of our life. And I suppose 90% of the stuff revolves around probably like dopamine detox stuff or habits or health or vitality or some sort of life protocol that forces you to essentially check each decision that you're making each day. And so I just wanted to kind of run through it a little bit with you guys to see if something that you might be interested in. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a different podcast where I'm just kind of unpacking, I suppose, a bit of a mindset that I have that I want to continue to challenge myself in because I fail at a lot of this for a lot of reasons the majority of the time. And in the last few years, I've been pushing myself to continue my self-development journey by trying different things in my life and in my world to see what outcome they kind of present. Now, a bunch of this is based on stuff that I've read, stuff that I've watched, stuff that I've seen other people do, whatever it might be. But I'm going to use my glasses because I'm pretty much blind without it. But essentially, we're doing the November Reboot Challenge. It's a holistic recalibration protocol designed for both Sean and myself. It combines mental clarity, physical health, dopamine regulation, spiritual alignment, and a tangible, measurable outcome by the end of the month. And this is probably the first one that I've done like this that has a requirement of a tangible on the back end of it. And I haven't yet locked in exactly what that tangible is. I haven't, but I really need to like set it in stone and start journaling. But Saturday was our 1st of November. And so, you know, wife's on holidays. I got 2 kids with me. Did I eat healthy? Well, did I stay off? We don't even need to go there. Probably not. But that doesn't matter because there's a few bits and pieces I want to unpack in that as well. Look, I really want to premise that a lot of this for me in the past, and maybe it's ADHD or maybe it's whatever, and it's a whole nother discussion about labeling shit and people labeling stuff these days on, oh, I've got this, I've got that I don't want to get into this podcast, but there's a big fucking conversation about it that I'm not denying it, but I'm also like, I don't believe it's the case for everyone as far as these mental disorders that we're putting on. So basically there's a number of core pillars. I believe it's 5 core pillars. The core pillars are health and discipline, which incorporates sleep routine, fixed awake and sleep cycles, structured diet, daily hydration targets, supplement stacking, physical movement, and training blocks. The second is dopamine detox, no porn, no social media scroll, including Facebook Marketplace. Me and Sean have a slight addiction to buying things on Facebook Marketplace. No YouTube, TikTok, unless work-related. So, like editing this and uploading this, okay, but I'm not doing any sort of social media, whether it's long form or short form. No sugar, no alcohol, no weed, no vapes, and once again, these don't just apply to me and Sean. We definitely don't do all of these, but I'm just kind of, once again, that holistic approach that everything's off limits. Screen use only for productive tasks. So I kind of wanted to do a no screen, but I mean, if we want to like lock in and do something on our computers or that's productive, then I'm all for that. Number 4, manifestation, one major tangible goal by November 30. Daily vision reinforcement, self-rewiring, reconnect to abundance mindset. And then number 5, creative output, vlogging, journaling, podcasting, video reflection, and content capture to build authentic voice. And so I just kind of want to premise that in this day and age, if you go searching for something specific, like, hey, I want to eat healthy, or I want to do this, I want to do that. In the past, I feel for me, it was kind of like I'm like I suppose it's a little bit of perfectionism. If I can't get all of it perfect and right, then what's the point? And I'm kind of wasting energy and effort, which at the end of the day is really just like a self-justification to not do the thing. And it actually has zero merit. But for me internally, it's one of those like triggers or one of those roadblocks that I have internally in my mind that it's like, well, if you do this, and I think that's true for a lot of people, it's like set apart all of these things to do, and then as soon as you don't achieve one, it's kind of like, oh, I've fucked the system now, so what's the point? There's no point in trying, and things fizzle out. And that's quite a pattern for many people and definitely a pattern for myself. Whereas this time I've really stuck in like, did I eat healthy over the weekend? Like I was saying, no, not entirely. And I had meals that I slipped up, but, or not even slipped up. There was definitely meals that I thought, I can't be fucked doing this. And so I just ate, whatever was there because I was busy and, 1,000 excuses. But what I haven't done this time is gone, November's screwed and now I've wrecked this whole month. And so there's no point trying. What I've done is I've found the tangibles and the small wins that I've locked in, like my hydration, some of the key things or stuff for me, really first thing in the morning is I got myself an ice bath over the weekend. And so I've been doing my ice bath first thing in the morning. I'm doing no caffeine or no coffee for 90 minutes in the morning. And I need to drink a liter of water in that first 90 minutes. And then there's some other things throughout the day, but that's like my core hit. And every day I've hit that. And if some of the other ones I haven't hit, or I've caught myself scrolling on Facebook lying in bed, at nighttime and kind of gone, oh shit, you shouldn't be doing this and pull out, of whatever I'm doing. But I think the overall arcing pattern is that any small step in the right direction is the right direction. And just because you fail, and maybe even fail's the strong word, maybe if you don't seem to follow through on one aspect of it, don't let that be the justifier that the rest of the percentage is not worth doing. And I think that's a challenge, for myself through this November period. It's kind of like I really wanted my tangible this month, which I'm kind of excited for, and I don't really know what expectations I have just yet of what it is, but I kind of said to Sean, I really want to fucking like manifest something. You know what I mean? What's a tangible, what's a real thing that if I go hard for 30 days on manifesting this, I said in the car just because it randomly came to me and the kids that morning had said, I want a kitten. And I thought, I don't want to buy a kitten, or I don't really want a cat either. And I'm allergic to cats. Well, I'm not allergic to cats. I just get itchy eyes and shit. I suppose that's allergy, whatever. But I just thought, I don't want to buy a cat. But what if I like manifested a fucking kitten? You know what I mean? And it sounds crazy, but then it's like, is it? I'm not convinced on manifestation, but I'm not convinced on manifestation. And I was like, for me, it seemed so simple, but it's like if I manifested every day that, hey, I'm going to find a kitten, and somehow a kitten's going to present itself to me, and the kitten is already mine, and I found it, and it's part of our family. If I manifest that into existence, what happens this month? Do I find a kitten? I don't know. Do I find a little pussy? I don't know. I don't know, but let's find out. Anyway, this month for me has come off the back of a massive year and has come off the back of a couple of unhealthy habits or even just unhealthy choices that I'm making around food and stress and life and dopamine chasing. And I feel that you continue to go up and down in these variants throughout the course of your life in varying stages, depending on the particular weight or the particular situation or the particular circumstance or the particular position you're residing in life at that time. And I don't think there's a one thing fixes all, because I think you will continue, or human nature is such that we will be continued to be pressured or put in strain of some degree in our internal worlds on finding extra dopamine or running out of capacity or being stressed by a moment or being emotionally overwhelmed for a particular reason. And those things continue to come up. And you get a couple of those stack on each other in a repetitive kind of sense, or in a like one after the other. It's like that third one that hits on a Friday after you've had a really shitty week with a bunch of stuff coming up. That one thing, say it's like, I don't know, you lose a particular tool that's really important or whatever, something that's of consequence to you, that in its own self happening might not have pushed you over the edge in emotional capacity or stress or whatever, but coupled with a number of other things prior to it happening that are of substantial consequence, and then that happening can really be a tipper over the edge. And I'm solidly convinced that the reason these things continue to happen throughout the course of our life is because there's no I've won moment in life. Life is a journey, and therefore the journey would dictate, as long as there is a level of perpetual growth in a direction or decline, either one, but especially growth, or if you're pushing more or pushing forward to something, then what's normally going to be coming through the push is resistance. And we can see that in so many areas in life naturally. Like if you want to get fit and strong, there's a level of pain and resistance that you need to push past, and mental fatigue or mental price that you need to like launch into and overcome in order to achieve a goal. If you want to become successful at your job or learn a musical instrument or become really good at sport, there's a level of pain and there's a level of mental discipline that you need to go through in order to kind of get to a level where you are now proficient or professional in or successful in, or whatever label you want to call it. And that kind of like couples back to this mindset thought that I've always had for a long time. And I can't remember where I heard it, but it's definitely a saying that's been kicking around for years, is number one, you need to make the discernment, is the juice worth the squeeze? And that analogy essentially means it's like you get a lemon, for instance, and you squeeze that lemon. Like if you've ever squeezed a lemon without some sort of juicing machine, right? It takes a long time and a lot of effort to get a certain amount of juice out of that. And if you put all that time and effort into lemon juice, maybe you like lemon juice and that's fine. But if most of you think it's like, then doing that it's like, is the juice worth a squeeze? And not really. I'm not going to really drink just straight lemon juice. Now, apples, for instance, man, you got to squeeze them motherfuckers like to get some juice out of them. And so, but is the juice worth it? 100%. Apple juice is the bomb. Orange juice, it's kind of like a little bit of squeezing, and you get what I'm saying? It's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the result worth the effort? And then the other aspect that kind of couples along with that is people don't change unless the pain of changing is less than the pain of changing the same. And for me, that resonates with either way. To invoke change in your life, for good or for bad, is going to result in a level of pain that you need to go through and that you need to process. And it's definitely been real in my life that any growth point of any proportion is coupled with a level of pain, and whether that pain is addressing issues in yourself or situations that have happened to you or moments that you reflect on that you think, I could have handled that better, or I could have done that better, or that person could have treated me better, or that situation could have ended. You know, I mean, there's 1,000 things, but progression in life is pain. And for the mundane majority of us, that pain threshold is we actually live in a life of so much internal pain that to actually change is like, I don't know, it's a battle, man. It's a fight. It's a decision. It's something that just sits so, I don't know, sits so raw in us that it's kind of like to face that level of pain. It's like my standard pain and woe is me. And then it's like, then I don't need to feel the pain if I justify, right? This happened when I was younger, or I've had this disability or this, and I'm not having a crack at disabilities, but you know what I mean? I did my hamstring and I could never play football, and so now I've just become a fucking scaffolder for the rest of my life. Or, you know what I mean? There's excuses that we can attach to the justification of our current pain, which numbs or dulls the pain. And therefore, the pain of changing and the pain of going, actually, no, I'm a capable human that can grow and can learn and develop and exceed and do all this other stuff. It's like all of a sudden that pain seems so big compared to this justification pain of like, oh, it's not actually pain because it's not my fault. I don't have to wear that. I don't have to bear that because I didn't have a good upbringing, or I lost my money on this deal and that kind of hamstrung me, or that person told me to do that. You know what I mean? It's just like justification for our pain that's not our own, that's someone else's or a life excuse. And so therefore we never get to this battleground of the pain of changing needs to be less than the pain of staying the same. And how do you address the pain of staying the same? Be fucking real and be honest with yourself and confront yourself with these things and wear the badge of, you know what, you probably made a shitload of really dumb decisions throughout the course of your life, as did everyone else. You were probably faced with a shitload of really bad situations that you then made bad choices around. It's kind of like this perpetual, I don't know, like ideology that we have to like blame shift away so that I don't have to feel, or I don't have to process, or I don't even have to admit or be aware that the pain is my own because I'm justified. It's actually not mine, it's theirs. And I think as life goes on too, life ends up bringing you to this state where the longer you go down this road of staying the same and staying locked on your justifications, staying locked on your excuses, staying locked on it's always everyone else's fault, not my own fault, eventually you get to a stage where you might think, you know what, I'm here. I've arrived at the pain of staying the same is too much, and the pain of changing looks like it's easy. But when you go to address those things in the world, so much time has gone past. And now the requirement to forgive yourself or to process regret or to unpack the things of the past, it's like, if I agree to this now, all of a sudden that excuse I used, this justification I used in place for the last 20 years of my life, now that's all on me. And now I'm responsible for this last 20 years. And so it wasn't someone, and I think facing that becomes harder and harder the older we get. And so, I mean, that was a big rant for November, but I think November for me and this reset for me is if I can do some things to add health, to add vitality, to add cortisol levels down, dopamine levels a little bit, you know, back on track, finding myself in a good headspace, challenging myself with self-challenges like doing the ice bath, drinking, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that, I mean, if you're keen to hear the full wrap of like potentially what I want to build for a like month detox, it's quite involved, and I'd love to kind of share it with you guys, and not just share it with you guys. I'd actually love to do some challenges where I do this with a whole bunch of different people within a community, and we just talk about what we're going through. But you know, my morning routine at the moment, 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., ice bath or cold shower, movement, walk, stretch, mobility, rotating on different days, breath work, journal prompts. You know, what emotions am I waking up with? What is my biggest challenge today? What belief am I ready to challenge? And this is about me journaling these things down so I can reflect on them later and really challenge some of those inner stuff that might have been holding me back or excuses that I've made in my life. Hydration, 1 liter of water before coffee, black coffee only after 90 minutes. I've got a midday reset, movement, light walk, reflection, 3-line journal, check-in, awareness statements. Where is my mind drifting? What am I avoiding? What do I need to complete? Breath work, stillness, optional sunlight exposure, evening routine, strict inputs and constraints. There's a whole bunch of stuff that, once again, I'm not necessarily doing all of it this November, but it's something I want to build to as not just a month challenge, but some of this to be life habits that mainly force me to challenge my internal world in taking responsibility for the part that I play in Brad Janes as a human and the part that I play in the greater community, and not to justify, you know, any other external thing in my life but me. And you know what? Yeah, shit happens. Trust me. I run a company with about 15 to 18 staff on and off. Shit happens. And I have every justification. I've had unwell children through periods of my life. I've had extreme relationship blow-ups with my still now wife. I've had deaths. I've had hard situations in my life. And I get it. Bad stuff and hard stuff happens. But at the end of the day, if you listen to my last podcast, at the end of the day, we are responsible 100%. I am responsible 100% for me. I am responsible for how I walk out this life. And it doesn't matter what is thrown at me, the decision to respond, the decision to grow, and the decision to be responsible for me is 100% on me. And that's what this month of November is. And so I'd love to hear your guys' idea on it. If you want me to unpack some more about this, or I don't know, whatever, I would be really keen to do it. It's one of the core ethoses of Pirate is the responsibility to jump on a ship. I know where I'm going. I'm setting the sail. I'm aware that there could be storms or bad seas or strong currents. I'm aware that the crew that I'm with is the crew that I've chosen. Fuck, that's a big one, bro. What crew are you running with? 100%. You might be a pirate, but if you're running with a bad crew, that's on you, bro. That's 100% on you. Don't blame the crew. The crew's going to be shit whether you're there or not, or the crew's going to be good whether you're there or not. As for the actual crew and who you choose, bro, that's on you. That's on me. And so who are you rolling with? But being a pirate, mate, those things, the direction, the location, the place I'm sailing, the treasure I'm chasing, all of that stuff is my decision and my responsibility and my internal drive, and all of the stuff I face along the way. Oh, I'm not going to make it there because fucking, a storm came and it ripped one of our sails. Cool story, bro. So what are you going to do now? That's your situation. Is that going to define or justify, or is that just going to be a stepping stone into the next season of your journey, and you are still going to get where you're going to get to? Man, I hope I'm still going to get where I get to. I am challenging myself through the ups and downs, through the wins, the failures, the successes, the discouragement. I'm still going to be responsible for how I respond and who I am. And the challenge and the call is out there. Are you going to be a pirate? Are you just going to be a whingy little bitch? Sometimes I want to whinge. but I ain't a bitch. Anyway, that was a decent rant. I'm pumped for it. I tell you what, these ice baths in the morning, 3 of them done now. I'm actually excited. I'm motivated. So I've set the temperature at the moment to about 12 degrees on the ice bath. And ChatGPTing told me that the health benefits are anywhere between the 10 to 15 degree range. You don't really get many more health benefits past that, but you do maybe get mental, what do you call it? Like mental rah. I'm a fucking, like tough guy or whatever, which I'm not. I'm weak, but I'm learning to be tough and strong. It's okay. I don't have to be. I don't need to be a tough guy, right? I don't need to be. It's such an Australian thing. Let's unpack that next podcast. The tough guy. Let's do the tough guy who's shit, bro. You're shit. You are actually so dumb. Man, I want a tough guy here now so I can just tell him he's dumb. And it's just like, oh, fuck, oh, bash ya. Cool, bro. I'll lay on the ground bashed thinking you're fucking dumb, bro. Fucking pirate out.